that they were going, it was not going to survive in the long term. I think this is a necessary change for them. So, all right.
That's why I'm saying like I don't understand why still do a stage show. I think going the Nintendo route is really the smartest thing to do when it comes to E3 conferences.
Yeah, yeah. Outside of like getting live reactions, it's probably the only thing I can think of. We literally saw a man crying when Final Fantasy VII was announced. So
Fair enough. We also saw like I said, like the Ubisoft one is it has a lot of examples of good moments with live stage reactions.
that is true. That is very true. Very true. When are we going to see Miyamoto and the president of Ubisoft together back to back with fake guns for a Mario game? That is rare.
Right.
That is rare.
Right.
Oh man. All right. So moving on with more E3 news. Square Enix has announced recently about their upcoming press conference. It is going to be on June 11th. Actually, it's going to be same day as Sony's. But it's going to be at 10 a.m. in the morning, which I believe this is a video conference, if I'm not mistaken, for Square Enix. Not
that's the one I heard that was going to be video.
Okay. And much of the speculations for us, like if Square Enix has a video conference where they can show off something or games wise, they have a good amount of games to show off, new or old. I think that when it comes to Square Enix, I think it's going to be a few things. A lot of Kingdom Hearts, because there's people are still saying that the game is coming out this year. I refuse to believe it until the game comes out or we get an official date, because there hasn't been an official date yet. So
It was not in the Walmart leak, was it?
let me check.
Because I know the one that was the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Right. That might be no. If they're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII remake, it would be at the Sony press conference. It wouldn't be at
Do you
Square.
think so? Because it's being released for Xbox One as well.
I think
Like it's not a Sony exclusive.
I think that if they were going to do that, whatever deal they made behind closed doors or whatever money they put at them, I think that they will showcase it at Sony press conference.
I'm not saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. The last two times that it's been shown at E3 was during Sony's conference.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they have their own video thing, I kind of feel like they might pull the reins back on that and be like, all right, it's our thing. We're going to show it because it's going to be on two different consoles. It's multi-system.
Right, but they could also go to the highest bidder too. Like they're not tied to a specific
Not disagreeing
console.
with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that there is a possibility that we will not see anything Square Enix unless it's during this.
Right. I'm looking to the list now. I don't see it on here. The only thing I see is Final Fantasy VII Remake. So
Okay. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember.
So I do think they're gonna show off Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that gut instincts telling me that they're gonna have a date finally for this game, and it's gonna be.
I think they're going to show off another world.
Oh yeah,
And what's going to be like is like all of a sudden they're inside like the Frozen world, right? They're there, right?
Yeah.
And Anna walks up and she's like, "I'm going to team up with you, and we can call Sven and his reindeer or whatever like as a summon, right?" That's going to be the thing, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like fucking lightning shows up out of nowhere. It's like, I'm teaming up with you too because I'm in this world somehow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some shit like that because it's Kingdom Hearts, man. Like that's how you advertise Kingdom Hearts. You go nostalgia, fighting, nostalgia.
Properties. You like Marvel? Here's Spider-Man. All right, cool.
Don't get me wrong, and don't take my tone out of context because I fucking love Kingdom Hearts and I'm getting number 3. Just stating a fact. That's how you advertise Kingdom Hearts.
I'm just more curious about the release and what the game is going to be versus my excitement for it.
It's going to be what the other ones have been.
Yeah, definitely.
You've seen the combat. You've seen the combat footage. Like it's not any different from the other Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be the story that ties everything together and ends it.
Well, as we know, I mean, for all we know, there might be a Kingdom Hearts 3. Semicolon Duex 99 cards. Whatnot.
Anthony, yes, there will be more Kingdom Hearts games to come out, but there won't be any more involving Sora, Riku, or Kairi.
They could, yeah. I mean, they definitely.
The reason I say this is that the only games involving those 3 are Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories 2, and 3. That's it. The other ones kind of reference them or briefly talk about them, but in general, those are the 3 that have them. And their story is a big component to the main plot points of the whole franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And so with 3 coming up and it being so far removed in terms of time from the second one, you have a whole new generation of people playing video games who have never seen or touched Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So how do you sell Kingdom Hearts 3 to those people? My nephew is going to be 15 this year. And granted, all he plays is fucking Fortnite.
Yeah.
But he's never heard of Kingdom Hearts. Would he be interested in it? Maybe not, but that's not the point. I know that there's got to be kids that go to his school who are in 8th grade, in 7th grade, as my other nephew's in, who've never heard of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Or if they've heard of it, they've never played it, seen it, touched it, anything.
Yeah.
So how do you sell a game, a third part of a franchise, that is that removed from the second one?
Yeah.
You have to sell it like its own standalone story. You have to.
And then also like, hey, if you missed out on the first 3 or whatever other previous games, here's like a HG re-release or whatnot to kind of let people know, like, hey, play the games before, or maybe have like a cinematic at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like, last time on Kingdom Hearts, and then all the events that happen or the major plot points. So you can
not to totally spoil like God of War, the new God of War game, but you could totally play that game without ever touching or seeing any of the other God of Wars.
That is true.
But they made that game they made it so well in regards to everything that happened in the previous games mattered. It was totally there, but it didn't matter to the plot that was happening in the new game.
Right.
If they can do that with Kingdom Hearts 3, you'll have a runaway success. I promise you.
Agreed. I think what God of War did was stupendous, and if they can do the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3, then absolutely it's going to be hailed as one.
Or just have an absolutely absurdly long intro that explains the fucking whole franchise.
I mean, they're not shying away from that idea. They've done it prior before, so I won't be too surprised if that ever happened. The other games that I think potentially will be probably shown off, and I think might have been leaked or talked about, but the new Lara Croft game they're going to showcase. I'm pretty sure it's going to be there, and I think that we'll see more of that. Probably see some footage. We'll probably won't see any release date or anything regarding to that per se, but we'll see. We'll definitely see Tomb Raider. Pie in the Sky, I like to see more near stuff there at this year's press conference. I doubt it. I think that storyline has been finished, but if they could put out more DLC or maybe some other news story, that'd be cool. But or maybe go on another, another near game, but like not this one, but another one that is part of that universe, which is crazy to me. But they could do it since the success of Nier Automata did last year.
Real brief, because I find this to be incredibly funny, and I know it's right in the middle of our thing, but my friend just sent me a message. This has to do with video games.
Okay.
So his son Zach is 7 right now. 7. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. 7 or 8. And his grandma on his mom's side, she doesn't have what some would call a filter. So Zach is playing a game on his iPad. His grandma comes up and says, "Is that Greg in your game?" And Zach goes, "No, that's a lady." His grandma goes, "Oh, well, it looks like Greg."
Oh, that's great.
So then my buddy says, "Zach, what game are you playing?" Zach turns his iPad around and he's playing Happy Wheels with a fat lady and a lark.
That's great. That's
just for reference on that, his grandmother has a very not only does she not have a filter, but she does a lot of backward compliments, which just fucking make me laugh. So
that's awesome.
That's really funny. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited for the Square Enix one. I think I don't think that a new Final Fantasy will be announced, or at least not one in the numbered franchise.
Here's the game that I remember talking about, or I've heard talks about, and I'll say this real quickly before we end the segment, which got my eyebrow raised. They said that Deus Ex is not dead. which means that there could be more Deus Ex in the future. And I thought that game, I love that game series. I love Deus Ex.
Both were successful.
Yeah, they were good. They were not as talked about as I hoped for. But they said that the game is not dead, so there's a potential for being it there. And if it happens, if we get another sequel, I'll be like, yeah, Deus Ex, it's awesome. Like it is underrated as hell. The new ones per se, the old ones, you can definitely go back and say that Deus Ex, the original.
First off, I hate that phrase underrated or overrated. Secondly, I would argue that they are not underrated, as they were very highly rated. They're just underappreciated.
Okay, I'll go with you there. I'll go with you there.
I absolutely could see them doing an announcement for Deus Ex 100%.
Yeah.
Or new Deus Ex.
Yeah.
Shit, they could just do a fucking remaster for the new systems.
That's true. They could do that too. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. It's still great games. They're still good. So I wouldn't mind any shit remaster. So.
Insobiner in our chat says, I have it on good authority that Star Ocean franchise is still alive. So that's, I could totally see Star Ocean making a resurgence.
Yeah.
The thing about Square Enix is they have 1,001 franchises.
Yeah. I mean, literally one of the games that were leaked was Just Cause 4, and that's a Square Enix property. So like it's going to probably be shown at their press conference, or video conference.
I think the thing with, like I said, with Square Enix is that if anything of their franchise, let's say Kingdom Hearts or the other game we were talking about that they own that I can't think of,
Final Fantasy,
or Final Fantasy, that they will be kind of announced at like the Xbox or the Sony conference.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's true.
It'll be like a, hey, this is coming out, but check out our thing later for the full
That's
trailer.
true. I hate that. I really do. Like they tease.
We've seen it 100 times.
I know, but it's so annoying because they tease you like, "Hey, we're gonna show you a small snippet. Check out the full trailer at the Ubisoft press conference or at the Sony press conference." It's like, come on, seriously? God damn it! I hate that. All right, moving on before I freaking have a aneurysm.